Does it really matter what color your backpacking gear is? And are there advantages to having gear of certain colors? The answer to those questions is yes. Today we're going over some backpacking color theory and what colors you should avoid while buying gear. So first on the list is backpack color. Now we're gonna go over a lot of different pieces of backpacking gear and talk about the advantages and disadvantages. We're getting really scientific. I mean, this is science, folks. And I know you guys are thinking, Bryce, you must just be running out of things to talk about. But truth is, I've actually had this video in my head for a long time now, so I'm excited to share my views with you on this topic. Now you might think backpack color makes no difference at all, and you're not wrong, but there are some advantages to having a pack like this one that I'm using right here. So if you notice in all my videos, I use primarily white backpacks, and at first it was just because I thought they looked cool, but white actually has its advantage. Now this might not apply to more traditional backpacks because they're a little bit thicker material, but this is an ultralight bag. This is made out of Ultra 200 fabric, very thin but durable, lightweight material. And the advantages to having a white bag is that it's almost like there's a light inside. It's very, very easy to open it up and see everything that you have laid out inside your pack. I've had many backpacks that were very thick that blocked out all the light from penetrating through the side of the bag, as well as black backpacks that just don't let any light through. I found that a huge advantage to white or light colored packs, especially thinner packs, when you open it, you can actually see all the way down to the bottom of your pack. The few times in the past year that I've actually used packs that were darker colors like dark gray and black, I've noticed that it's just hard to see down in the pack and you got to root around more to find what you're looking for. So the color of the backpack really doesn't matter that much, but if you're looking for a super efficient system, I think white is definitely the color to go for. Its disadvantage is it's going to look really, really bad once you get it muddy. This one's still new, as you can tell, but these get some patina on them. They're gonna get dirty and gross. Honestly, I like them better when they're like that. I gotta get some dirt on this thing. Now some of you might be thinking white is just an obnoxious color, much like the shirt that I'm wearing, and it's an eyesore on the trail. I know a lot of people really like to keep to the more earth tone colors, something a little bit more muted like the greens, the browns, something a little bit more natural. I've heard firsthand from people how they hate seeing bright colored tents like white and yellow, but bright colors do have their advantages. It's been proven that a lot of bright colors actually affect your mental and physical state, whether it's in a good way or in a bad way. Colors like pink, blue, and green are known to be calming. Some studies actually show that red gives you a boost of energy. Look out! I, for one, if you can't already tell, like bright colors. I have no qualms about going out looking like this and buying bright, obnoxious backpacking gear. For me, it just puts me in a good mood. I feel like it's funny and it puts other people in a good mood. Other people like to stay a little bit under the radar. If you're a stealthy camper, you definitely don't want a bright yellow tent if you're going stealth camping, or if you just hate people and want to hide. Now to me, tent color is very, very important. So I bought a Light Gear tent that was cranberry. It's purple. And although I like the color, if you're in this thing in the daylight, it just casts this very purple, like pinkish hue all over the inside of the tent. Like you cannot get away from it. All you see is shades of purple. Now, as you can see in the clip here, if you're spending a lot of hours in this purple tent, you're going to have to deal with this purple color all evening or however long you're going to be in this tent. On the right, you can see I'm in a white shelter. Now, white is awesome because it blocks a lot of the super direct, bright light out, so it's still like completely daylight. You can see everything, no need for a light headlamp at all, as where I actually felt like in the purple tent I have a want to get my headlamp out every now and then. It's just so dark. I don't really like any tent that isn't like a white or a gray. When the light shines through, I want that natural color kind of filling the area. So my gray tent is great. White is just amazing. I've actually seen in survival shows where if people have like a green tarp or something, the color over their whole vision just kind of starts to drive them crazy after a while. And if you're spending a lot of time in your shelter during the daytime, then this could be an issue. So as far as keeping cool or hot in a tent, obviously color doesn't matter at night at all. And in the daytime, I bet there's some benefit of certain colored tents. I don't have the science to prove this one, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say that if you're in a tent and it's sunny out, you're gonna bake in anything. Now let's talk about sleeping bags or quilts as I use. The only thing I have to say about this is more of a tip for efficiency at home. So something that I do when I buy my quilts, they basically all look the same. I store these quilts in canvas sacks that they come in on top of my closet. They're not always in the same order. I don't always know which bag I'm pulling down when I'm going to pack for a trip. So something that I do is I buy quilts that are different colors for every temperature rating. So that way I know if I reach in my canvas sack and pull out a blue quilt, I know that's my 40. If I reach in and pull out a green one, I know that's my 20 degree. On that note, I feel like having gear that is different colors just makes for good efficiency and is really beneficial to finding gear quickly. As you saw earlier when I opened my pack, did you notice something? A lot of my gear is different colors. Now obviously I like certain pieces of gear to be colors I like, but if there's little pieces of gear that don't really matter what color they are, I'll get something completely different than everything else in my backpack, so my mind triggers and I know exactly what it is when I see that color. So when I open my backpack and I'm looking for a clothing bag, I just know red. So as soon as I reach in, the only thing that's red, I just reach in and pull it up. I don't have like 100 stuff sacks of the same colors and gear that's all the same color. Now on the downside of that, my gear does not look uniform. Some people might say it's just kind of goofy. All these tips are made for efficiency and you know, boosting morale and bugs. We're gonna get into that one. But at the end of the day, if it's gonna make you miserable to open up that stuff sack and see that orange quilt every time you go to use it, it's just not worth it. I mean, that's just enough to make you sick. Little fun fact, in the hammock gear quilts I have, the last color I haven't bought that they have to offer in the style I get is orange, and I refuse to get an orange quilt. So I'm gonna have to switch the inner colors or do something funky because they're all customizable. I'm just gonna do whatever it takes to not end up with an orange quilt. Now as for sleeping pads, it's been proven that red sleeping pads actually keep you warmer during the night. And that is not true at all. And it's also been proven that yellow sleeping pads make you pee the bed, which is why my NeoAir X-Lite smells so bad. Now let's talk about bugs. Certain colors attract bugs and certain colors detract bugs. Now I did a little bit of research, just a little bit. And I'm gonna mainly talk about mosquitoes here because that's what I looked up. That's always my biggest concern. I know some areas you might have black fly issues and stuff. I really don't have that anywhere that I go, or I haven't yet at least. But mosquitoes are attracted to dark colors like black, and they're also very, very attracted to the color red. Now that actually contradicts a little bit of what I saw, and that's most bugs are actually attracted to bright colors, vivid colors like white, pink, yellow, orange. Who would wear orange?
Right here? That's fine.
Just pulled a tick off my leg. He didn't bite yet. Oh, they are out in full force here on the East Coast. Actually pulled one off my back the other day. He was attached. Now that's an advantage to wearing short shorts and sandals. You can see them things before they get you. It also says to avoid bright, vivid colors and floral print. Now colors like green won't appear vivid in the UV color spectrum that they see in. Everything's green. So it's like when a bug is looking for something tasty, like a flower or something to latch onto, I feel like they're looking for colors that kind of stand out a little bit. Not surprising that green is not the color that attracts them. There are ticks everywhere up here. Holy crap. And I'm in a mode path right here. They are crawling on my legs right now. So we're just gonna keep on moving. So another bug concern for me is spiders. I don't know what it is. Spiders just love to bite me. But I found that blue is actually a color that detracts spiders. A lot of people actually, from what I read, like paint their porches in certain parts of their house blue because spiders just absolutely hate that color apparently. Now that might not be true, but I mean, I read it on the internet, so you know it is. Now let's talk about odds and ends and little stuff that can be easily lost. You know what I'm gonna say about this one? If the color doesn't matter, get things that are bright. I know it's obnoxious for tents and backpacks, and if you guys wanna keep a little bit more low key on stuff like that, I mean, go for it. But when it comes to little things and safety being an issue, I think bright colors are good. So if your source of fire is a lighter, if you have a knife out there, like you may as well get bright orange. I take that back. Get yellow, blue, anything other than orange. Although orange stands out the most, I hate to recommend it. I know one thing for me is a tent stake bag. They're tiny little bags, easy to lose. I have two. I have a dark blue one and I have a little white one. I always bring the white one because it just stands out so much brighter. It contrasts the ground, so if I leave it sitting, I always see it. My camp trowel that I use to dig out cat holes is orange. Holy crap, I do have orange gear. So I'm actually in the market for a new camp trowel if any of you guys have any recommendations. Vibrant, bright colors are also really helpful in survival situations as signaling devices. So even if you like the more subtle colors, it's always good to have something in your backpack that's either bright orange, bright red, or yellow, in case you would find yourself in a situation that you would need something bright. Now when it comes right down to it, does color actually even matter when it comes to any of what I talked about today? It seems like there's definitely some colors that pose an advantage when it comes to efficiency, bug control, and as well as just morale, making you happy, making the people around you happy. But all things considered, I think at the end of the day, you just need to get the colors that you like, because they're probably not going to make that much of a difference. Now in the comments below, I want to hear the gear color choices that you've chosen that have really benefited you. On the opposite spectrum, the color choices that you've gotten that you've totally regretted. So put them down below, I'd love to hear them. Subscribe for more videos like this in the future. Hit that little notification bell, and that'll do it. So see you guys in the next one. That'll do. All right, let's get out of here. I think I pulled a muscle on that one.